everybody, how's it going? How is it going? How are you all doing? As usual, it's all going off here in the UK. As usual, it's all going off over here. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Isabella Bank's YouTube channel. I'm Wizzy, and tonight we have a lot to unpack actually, from royal family boos to shady headlines and a few laughs. Buckle up because it is about to get. Buckle up because it's about to get um really wild out here. Just a moment while I pull up this my presentation, which went into hiding just at the moment I thought I was ready to go. Just a moment. Apologies for the pause. Okay, here we are. And there you go. Right. This is the right one. Buckle up because it's about to get wild out here. The royal family may soon only be able to get about in a Pope mobile. Who knows? Who remembers what a Pope mobile looks like? Yep, those ones. So that when they're being stoned with eggs or they're being booed, it doesn't come near them, just the way the Pope is protected in this his bulletproof creation that was made for him. Anyway, before we dive into today's video, it's that time of the year, and I put together a wish list which is a collection of essentials that will greatly help reduce living expenses so that I'm able to continue doing this work without worrying too much about other things. If you would like to spread a little holiday cheer, check it out. The link to my wish list is in the description box of this video. I think one of the moderators will soon put it in the chat for you guys if you would like to click on it. Thank you so much for considering it. If you are considering clicking on the link to see what's on there, I made sure to include everything that I could think of on the list, but the prices, don't worry, the prices of the items on the list are fairly reasonable. I think that it starts from like $2 to $3 to $4 and upwards. So there's something there there's something there for everyone, and the items on it are affordable. Okay. Uh, It contains like basics to those daily essentials, which will really make a difference to my day-to-day life. So any support you are able to give would be super appreciated. Happy holidays in advance. The countdown to the Christmas holidays is officially on. How many people have put out their Christmas trees? I think this is the weekend that most people tend to put out their Christmas trees. It's typically six weeks to Christmas, isn't it? So this is the season. The countdown to Christmas is officially on. Okay, haven't gotten that out of the way. Did you guys hear about Prince William getting booed in Belfast? It was really loud, and there was no mistaking the fact that he was getting booed this time around. There was no way to spin it. As soon as he arrived at Ulster University in Belfast to talk about the creative sector, the reception wasn't quite what the royal PR team ordered. No. But to be fair, this is the first time I had heard in a long time where Prince William was doing an engagement that made some sense, because William is the president of BAFTA, and he was going to the creative sector section of Ulster University, and he participated in some workshops with them. If you go to, there are a few articles where it's showing him getting rolling up his sleeves and getting involved in the activities of the day, which actually, for the first time, I was almost like shaking my head along, like, okay, even if I know that this is PR, you're working hard at the PR. You're not just standing there aloof or looking down your nose at people. For the very first time, I actually saw him engaging with people in a way that makes sense. Apparently, he had had an earlier engagement which focused on his homelessness project. Again, this made sense. So he was going to Northern Ireland. He had two engagements. He put them all on the same day. Who else do we know that does who that operates in that way? Our dear Prince Harry. Yay. Anyway, you guys know that if you have been following, you know that his homelessness project Homeward, and you know that he had selected 6 locations in the UK where the project is supposed to start. And Northern Ireland is one of those places where the project is going to start. So before he went for this engagement at the university, he first went and did that one. It just seems to me that he's taking tips from Prince Harry on how to efficiently manage his diary, because that would definitely ensure the best use of his time and resources. I'm shocked. There was nothing here. I mean, it makes sense that people were booing at him. I mean, come on, we just had the Channel 4 documentary the other day. So it makes sense that people will be booing at him. But I'm just very shocked at how much it seems that there was actual planning in this trip this time around. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked. If he had been doing more of this kind of planning, uh, um, making sure that the things that he's doing align with his brand, I don't think that people would hurl so much abuse at him. But because he just seems to pick things up willy-nilly, um, then he has made himself the subject of much mockery. Well, better late than never, and I hope that whoever is advising him right now continues to advise him. So, because yeah, it makes sense. Even if I don't know if the royal family's reputation can ever be repaired, but at least what they are doing right now makes sense. This is all that I'm saying. It makes sense. So he says he's for homelessness. He's got a project running. He's going to Northern Ireland. Of course, he's going to stop by them or arrange whatever engagements they could possibly have to be on or around the same day as when he's got something else going on. Beautiful. I don't have any problem with that. That people were booing him. Of course, they're going to boo him. Of course. There was no way they weren't going to boo him because of they haven't even responded to the Channel 4 documentary. They have said absolutely nothing. Instead, they have tried to scapegoat Harry and Meghan. So if the young people are out there doing for us what we would like to do ourselves, but we're doing from inside our homes, why not? Of course. Anyway, Is this enough to make sure? Are people going to forgive the royal family with these sensible activity, that this flurry of sensible activity that we're seeing them embark on now? I think it's a little too late. People have seen through them now. The magic of the royal family has faded. They've been exposed for being greedy, very unempathetic, and just childish for not being able to reconcile with his only brother. If he had had more than one sibling, it would be a case of, oh, well, um, he has somebody else. But he has nobody else as a sibling. Once his father goes, that's it, done, end of. Yes, he's got cousins and so on and so forth, but having your sibling is different from having a cousin. Usually, your own sibling will go to the moon and back for you, which is completely different from what a cousin or a long distance relative will do for you. Anyway, that's his own problem. Whether or not the royal family would be forgiven for their bad behavior, well, that's only the British public will be able to answer that question. Only the British public can answer that question. Uh, Sorry. However, what we will see is that the royal family seems to have fallen from grace at the moment, and their reputation is tarnished in a way that it seems like they can't go anywhere now without getting booed. And speaking of falling from grace, Tina Brown hit us. I mean, you guys remember the Channel 4 investigation, right? Right. Following that, there was an article by Tina Brown who hit us with the article that basically calls William a performative pinhead. Yes, Tina Brown, the woman who claims that she was besties with Princess Diana. She took no prisoners. She's making it clear that William needs Harry more than William wants to admit. But let's be real, if the royal family thought Harry would come running back, they would have done everything that they could to bring him back and succeeded at it. They just don't want to do it. And on Harry's part, that ship has sailed a long time ago. There was a time he was open to it, but that ship has sailed a long time ago. It is no longer possible for that to ever happen. I used to be of the school of thought that never say never in terms of him coming back as a full time royal. But ship has sailed a long, long time ago. I do know that his father was trying to signal him, and his father was prevented to a large degree from reconciling with Prince Harry because of William's very fragile ego. But yeah, what are we going to do? That ship has long time sailed. It's never going to turn back. There is no room. The royal family, as it is right now, even feels like it will be too small for Prince Harry because he has far outgrown them in terms of the infrastructure that they have available at the moment. Before we continue, if this is your first time on this channel, please go ahead to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and leave a comment or two in the comment section. If you have visited before and you have not yet subscribed, let today be the day you decide to subscribe. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Oh my God, thank you so much for responding to my appeal where I was requesting for subscription to the channel because we are on a mission to getting this channel up to 5,000 subscribers before the end of this month. So if you have begun listening and you have not yet subscribed, take a leap of faith with me today. and go ahead to subscribe. For all those who have been rocking with me from the beginning, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. Now let's continue. They have been trying to spin the story that Kate, in between recovering from, is it precancerous cells or cancer, she has also been working furiously behind the scenes to mend the rift between Prince William and Harry. But according to them, Meghan is panicking over the possibility of Harry and William reconciling. That Meghan feels that that would take Harry away from her. Look at this. Kate, I won't let her ruin this. As if she can come between a husband and a wife. They are so ridiculous here in the UK. I don't blame people when they leave comments in my comment section saying, the entire British people so and so. But at the same time, I end up having to correct a lot of people because that's how racism started, where you use one paintbrush to brush over everyone. Whereas what you're really trying to say is the British media. Anyway, it's just like they think Meghan doesn't have a life of her own. And the cherry on top of all of this, they're convinced that Kate would be able to fix everything. The only thing preventing reconciliation from happening is because William is resistant. Look at this headline: William King Charles resisting reconciliation with Harry. So, in the body of the article, they're like, the king has been open to reconciliation with Harry for the longest time, but William has refused to get on board with it. Anyway, that is the new fairy tale in town. So, um, we all know that this does not affect our royals in Montecito one way or the other. They are getting on with their lives, whether these people are thinking about them or not. Anyway, we've got King Charles out here. The royalists are applauding him for opening a food bank on his birthday as if he is single handedly solving world hunger. But wait, let's think about it for a second. What was the actual support that King Charles provided? He shows up empty handed to a food bank. Empty handed. The only thing King Charles brought was himself in a suit and cameras to show that he was doing a good thing. Uh, oh dear. So, of course, he had his people wish him a happy birthday. And I picked this particular birthday wish because the photo in the birthday wish kind of struck me. Let me bring it up close so that you can see. Look at this. What does this photograph remind you of? If you are the type of person like myself, I'm on social media all day, every day. And I see all these influencers, when they want to show off their outfits or that they're promoting or something, and then they begin to stroll in front, like create scenes where they are walking on the street. This is exactly this. So basically, King Charles is just an influencer and he does all the things that influencers do. How have I not seen it in this light before now? Because this is exactly what this is. Him just, right now I would suppose that uh he's promoting one of the grounds in the royal palaces. So this is him promoting the royal family. in this photograph. Oh, gosh. Anyway, what did people online have to say about King Charles? Because King Charles is being dragged. Is being dragged. Do you know one thing I've just noticed? I was going to say he's being dragged by his hair strands, but King Charles actually has more hair than William. Oh, poor William. Harry and his father actually have more hair than him. That must make him feel kind of odd. Anyway, people online are roasting King Charles. They're like King Charles with his obscene wealth going full on Marie Antoinette by opening food banks on his birthday. If he paid his fair share of taxes, maybe the people struggling to eat wouldn't need his cake and crumbs. Just utterly offensive. Just utterly offensive. And then what did this person say? And this one, guys, is so funny. So I got this from Reddit, and this person was like commenting to this story somebody had posted. This very story about King Charles's birthday and him going to a food bank. Someone posted about it already. And this person commented, meanwhile, dad is querying his pitch while on his birthday visiting a food bank like warehouse in Deptford. Okay. And the next person below said, Daddy Slumlord and him simping broken Slumlord Jr. thinks hypocrisy is a fancy new cologne. And this person said, ew, the mold. Parfum de Camela too. We were just having fun with it. The dragging was ridiculous. Ooh, the mold. Parfum de Camila too. This person says, brilliant. So, what do we think? Do we think that the British people are going to engage in a full on revolt against the monarchy? Well, I wouldn't bet on it yet, because change happens in stages. And I believe that, while I can't say that this is the beginning, it might seem like the British people are not aware and are not doing anything from the outside. But I'm going to show you something which will tell you that the British people have actually been working, are gradually working to get rid of the royal family. It didn't occur to me actually until I was preparing this video. And then I remembered that, oh, actually, this is tied into one of the things that would get rid of the royal family. Okay, I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, because the Labour government isn't exactly royal friendly. They are moving to cut back on the royal family's perks. They are possibly taking away. It is possible that we will see that they will take away the Duchy of Cornwall and the Duchy of Lancaster. But since all of these things that they own are not just gifts, simple gifts to the King and William, they were actually written into laws. They have to present the laws and put the necessary infrastructure in place so that these things can be taken away from them. So I believe that we will see a shift in the coming year. In the next year or so, I believe that we will see a shift. They are already lost control of the sovereign purse. I believe that the present government will begin to recover some items from the royal family, as they will recover as much as they can from the royal family. And if they're able to do that, it is so evil that the royal family doesn't even um, uh, give the government back some of the money that they collect, because the government has made it quite clear that they had a £20 billion black hole So the royal family that are collecting money left, right, and center, albeit it is not illegal money, but it's free money that they're collecting on their own properties, which they surrendered to the government. We agree. But seeing as the government is struggling, you would think that they would make a grand gesture towards the government to say, you know what, since you're struggling, here is XYZ amount of money. At this certain point, you either bring it back to the original percentage that we agreed or you do something else. They just stand on their business, collecting all the money, and they don't even pay their staff well as well. So, oh dear. Oh dear. Anyway, as I was saying, the public has actually started waking up. They have woken up some time ago, and they started putting the things in place in order to away. Yeah. So you see where they say remaining hereditary peers to be kicked out of House of Lords within months. This is something that was actually started by the Conservative government, and I'm betting that when the Conservative government, because they made this commitment when they were campaigning for election, because they know that this is something they would put to the public, which the public will altogether get behind, at least theoretically, right? But they were expecting to win the election and they knew that they would not do anything about it. Only for the Labour government to win the election. And guess what? Now the Labour government are like, oh, you started this. So it's not even our fault. We are just now going to push through all the electoral promises you made during your campaign. So guess what? They are doing it. They're doing it right now, and this might not make much sense to people outside of the UK, but I'm guessing that a lot of you know that the House of Lords. I don't want to over-explain to people that already know, but the House of Lords is like the Senate House, the upper house. So what happens in the UK is that you have people who have, when they finish whatever position that they're doing in the lower house, they take a seat in the upper house. And not only that, they stay there. It's a lifetime. They stay there all the days of their life. Not only do they stay there all the days of their life, they can pass their titles over to their children, and their children will take up a seat in that house for doing nothing with no qualifications, gaining the title, the recognition, and the money that their parents earned in the house. Although they usually have a lot of very qualified people, of course, if you're coming from a government position, there is every likelihood that you have judges there, lawyers there, but you also have a lot of people, especially those who come through to the house because they inherited the title from their parents. They may not even have any qualification at all, and yet they get a say in whether a bill passes in the House of Lords or not. That's the most ridiculous part of the UK style of governance that exists. So the fact that they're looking to get rid of it, remember that a lot of the people in the House of Lords who inherited their seats are close to the royal family. So anything that the royal family wants passed that is going to benefit them, they are assured that it will get passed because their people are in the House of Lords. But what happens when their people get kicked out? You see? So when, let's say, the Labour Party bring a bill to abolish the monarchy, if they brought it now, That bill will not pass. Why? Because the royal family's people are in the House of Lords. But if they now remove those people who inherit their titles and they kick them out and they say everybody who is in the House of Lords has to be an elected person, you have to go through an election to be able to get a seat in the House of Lords. That changes things drastically, especially if you happen to have a Labour led House of Lords, just like you have the Senate in America and probably Canada as well. Um, Lorna says they should also kick out the 26 spiritual peers as well. Yes, Church of England bishops that sit in the House of Lords. Uh, I believe that I believe that they will kick them out. Yeah, I don't. I think what they want is for everybody who sits in the House of Lords to be elected now. They don't want anyone who just goes to the House of Lords because of one position or the other or through connections. Remember, there was such a scandal about this. What's her name? Charlotte Owens. No one till now, no one has been able to explain how a 23-year-old girl is a member of the House of Lords. No one has been able to explain. There are rumors that she is Boris Johnson's daughter, but how does a 23-year-old, how does she become a member of the House of Lords? You understand? So what they want, if you get there because you're elected, I think that's a different thing altogether. But if you get there because you are connected, well, no wonder we're in the situation that we are in the UK. But so far, so good. I'm quite pleased with the Labour government as well. I'm sure you guys know that as well already. um, as Anne Lewis said, Tories set up the removal of the hereditary peers to get rid of themselves. Lulu says, do these lords include any women? If not, that means all decisions are made entirely by men. No, it does include women. The House of Lords is not just men, but it's just a generic name for the people uh, in the House of Lords. The I know Theresa May, who used to be the former prime minister, is now a member of the House of Lords by virtue of the fact that she used to be a prime minister. Most people, most prime ministers, once they conclude their seats in the House of Commons after being prime minister, I think they have a choice as to whether, I think they have an automatic right to go to the House of Lords. I'm not sure about that. I will check it out. But yeah, this Theresa May is a member of the House of Lords, so I can conclusively say that the House of Lords is not just made of women. There are men, there are women there as well. Um, the hereditary peers goes back to when Parliament was formed. It was a way to keep control of the commoners in House of Commons. Correct. Remember that when Parliament was formed, it was basically formed with it was mainly the people in the royal family's court who made up the parliament. But then when people who weren't royalty started making money, they had to admit them into parliament. And so that's how the idea of the House of Lords was formed. Like, okay, we need a second house. Anyway, so yeah. Julie says Chucky was appointed by God, so he thinks. Yep. Uh, yes. Okay. Charles and William need to find God and live right. They are hypocrites. Uh, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. Anyway, so as I was saying, the public has already started waking up and they are taking steps. It's just that when you're fighting against establishment, uh, the smart people move slowly but move precisely, and I think that is what is happening at the moment. Because I don't think that in any country, uh, no matter how dumb the British public may appear, I don't think there is any country where they would continue to allow the royal family to get on with the charades. They're just acting, isn't it, on a daily basis. They continue to act. They just put on a show on a daily basis, and yet they wear the best clothes, drive the best cars, live in the best houses, everything. They have access to the best of everything, and they tax the common man who's just trying to get by. And then you have something like the Channel 4 documentary spilling the beans on the royals' vast land holdings. And another reason why it might have seemed like it was slow, like people might see the palaces and they just assumed. I think for a lot of people just assumed that those were the only properties that the royal family had, only to find out that they own over, like, you kind of have an idea because of the kind of wealth that they talk about. For goodness sake, we're talking about billion people who own billions of pounds, who are worth billions of pounds, right? So you kind of have an idea that they have a lot of property. And because the palaces are so big, it just feels like all the money that we're talking about is concentrated on these palaces that we look at, only to find out that actually no, that's not quite it. The Channel 4 documentary just made the idea of the realization, the reality of the amount of properties that the royal family own more real to people. So, yeah, when I tell you people are angry, they are very angry. But the royal family are very powerful. So they have to move very smartly. And to me, I would say they are taking the right steps with this, with what they're doing. And let's take a moment, shall we, to appreciate Harry and Meghan's silence. Don't you just love it? I love it. I love it. When they go quiet, you know they're working behind the scenes. But more importantly, it makes the royal family's blunders all the more louder. Even when they try to use them as scapegoats now, it's so obvious that the international media is literally making fun of British media right now. Meanwhile, British media has resorted to asking if they sleep separately. Yeah, you heard right. Look at this headline. Do Prince Harry and Meghan sleep separately? Do the Duke and Duchess of Sussex share a bed at the home they share in Montecito with their two children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet? How stupid an article is this? And this is from Hello Magazine, you know. This is not an up and coming magazine that you would say is wet behind the ears and they don't know any better. Anyway, yes, this is the headline. Just imagine the level of desperation that the British media is currently under. No wonder they're sniffing around and they're like, oh, we wish Kate could broker this peace between Prince William and King Charles. She is the only one who can do it. They need something to write about. So they're left with, do Prince Harry and Meghan sleep separately? No, no, they don't sleep. They don't sleep together. Meghan, had those children by immaculate conception. That's how she had the children. Anyway, this is the reason why I have taken it upon myself to continue the mission to push for the Leveson 2 inquiry. I am doing things behind the scenes to push for the Leveson 2 inquiry. If this inquiry doesn't happen for any reason, then the UN petition is next on the list, because it's not just about Harry and Meghan, it's about stopping the smear campaign against them, so that whatever it is that they're able to do, they can live their lives without having to look over their shoulders all the time, and changing the press culture in the UK once and for all. From all the indications, it used to be bad, it used to be worse than what it is right now. And but by the time everyone puts their efforts together, we would eradicate them. It's just taking some time. Let's not forget that Prince Harry's case is coming up in January 2025. January 2025. So it's all going to kick off all over again then. And no wonder Harry and Meghan are also silent. But we've got the Polo Netflix series to look forward to. We've got the cooking show to look forward to, and we've got archetypes to look forward to. There's a lot coming up. And Invictus Games is coming up in January 2025 as well. So, um, it's good for them to be quiet so that they can get themselves ready and protect themselves from any external aggression that might come to them from the media because of the upcoming cases. Let me have a look at your comments. Uh, Anne says the article is projection. Hello Magazine is referring to Will and Kate, but using H&M's names. How did you know? You are absolutely correct. I believe that is what my thoughts were as well. The PPE scandal with Boris Johnson, where all the COVID, oh, this is another conversation altogether. Anyway, before I wrap up today's video, um, I want to take a moment to support one of the most ardent supporters on this channel. This is Carmen from Commonplace Beauty. Thank you guys so much to all those people who went and subscribed to her channel last week. You are excellent people. I don't know how to thank you. But we still got to get her up to 1,000 subscribers. For those who don't know who Carmen is, because you're new subscribers to my channel, Carmen is a fellow squaddy who runs a channel dedicated to beauty, especially makeup tips for the mature woman. She is so good at it. She is just trying to build an alternative stream of income because she is much older now, and in this age of black people 2025, I think it would be a great idea if we go ahead to support her channel. We have been on this mission for quite a while. I will be very grateful if to the link to her channel in the chat. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead to subscribe to her YouTube channel. Let's face it, if you have someone who can tell you how to navigate the new face you get as you get older, that's always a plus. And Carmen's got the tips to help us up. So let's rally together and get her up to 1,000 subscribers. Remember that we rise by lifting others up. All right, so I've dropped the link to her channel. Don't forget also to have a look at the description box of this video if you would like to support me through my wish lists, which has various home essentials to help me reduce my own expenditures. So if you are minded to do so, if you can, go ahead. You're so funny, Anne. Can someone send the link to Kate? She's not even in the guys. That's all I've got for this evening. Until next time, this is Wheezy signing out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thank you. Bye now. Bye.